afternoon. Welcome to this Milan Liverpool pre-match press conference with Paulo Fonseca and Alvaro Morata. Thank you, Nicola. I have a question both for the coach and for Alvaro Morata. So, Mr. Fonseca, the great notes of San Siro have their own literature, have their own history. The AC Milan supporters are very, very warm supporters, both in the UCL and in the Serie A. As a man of football, do you think that the warmth of our supporters can have an impact on the game? Yes, for sure. No doubt, our supporters will help us a lot. Their support is always really important to us, as it's always been. In fact, when we played versus Venezia, versus Venice, the support of all AC Milan fans has been fundamental, and it will be again so tomorrow. We need to feel the love of our supporters. Alvaro, is there going to be any AC Milan supporter that will think tomorrow, before you go to the pitch, that you have started to prepare 10 days ago when it was raining, when you started to run and to give good and positive signals to all our supporters? So your preparation started on that morning, Alvaro? Since I signed in, I've always imagined to play this game against Liverpool in San Siro. I would have never expected that this game would have been the first one of the Champions League. If you look back in history, this game could be a semi-final or final of Champions League, as it has already happened. So we really want to play, we really want to work hard, and also, as Mr. Fonseca said, we want to make our supporters proud of us. We couldn't be more excited. Tomorrow we will listen to the UEFA Champions League anthem, and we will have a great rival, so we can't wait to face this team tomorrow. I have a question both for Mr. Fonseca and for Alvaro Morata. First one. This victory versus Venice was a very good signal. So maybe thanks to this winning, Milan, AC Milan has found their way. So the whole team now not only has enthusiasm, but also they have come to a turning point, maybe. Can you confirm that? Alvaro, 28 goals in this competition. Do you know what's the difference to field in such a game? Well, I think that when you win, you are always more self-confident. You as a team, you as supporters, you as a coach. But this game will be different. We know that this last win was fundamental against Venice. Some signals were already there before the games versus Venezia. We knew that our team, our squad was growing and developing and improving, but when you win, also the players feel better. The Champions League is a wholly different story. It is very important the way you prepare, but we truly need another victory to see ourselves in a different way. We have also witnessed good features and good signals in the past games, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you get results. Luckily, this game is happening now, is happening tomorrow. If it had happened at the end of the tournament, when things could get worse, well, that would have been much worse. Here in Champions League, there are all the best European teams. So when you play versus them, you perfectly know them, you perfectly know how they play, their importance and their history, and we are fully charged, we are fully motivated for tomorrow's game. Good afternoon. I have two questions, one for Mr. Fonseca and the other one for Alvaro Morata. Mr. Fonseca, you will have studied the Liverpool squad for sure. You know what mistakes you made. You know that you cannot repeat them against Liverpool tomorrow. And Alvaro, you have a positive balance when playing against Liverpool. You scored a goal, quite an impactful one, quite a very impacting one versus Liverpool. So could you please tell us about that match that for sure you will remember very, very well? Liverpool is an incredible squad, an incredible team, maybe one of the best in Europe at the moment. They play with very clear positions, and they have individual players who are really, really good at what they do. I think that from the point of view of defending, we need to be perfect tomorrow. We cannot miss any ball. We cannot be wrong when defending. When you play in the Champions League, you know that you cannot be wrong, you cannot fail. If you fail one, then you concede a goal, and that cannot happen. That's why I think that we need to play as a single man. We need to be a complete, as a uniform, an homogeneous team when defending, and then we need to attack as well, obviously. But honestly speaking, this is one of the best teams in Europe. I'm making reference to Liverpool. Obviously, I perfectly remember that goal I scored versus Liverpool, but that belongs to the past. Now we have several games ahead. Tomorrow we will start a new path. We need to dream because we play in a dream team. You look at your T-shirt, I look at mine, I see that I have number 7 on it, and I know that there are many people who really want to see us playing, who want to see us improving. And I know there is a lot of margin in this team, and we cannot win against anybody. Good afternoon, Mr. Fonseca. Do you agree when people say that tomorrow's game is going to tell us the value, the real value of AC Milan, of your AC Milan? Well, I see tomorrow's game as an opportunity for the team and for us to show and to prove that we are learning, that we are growing, that we are advancing. It is also a great opportunity to me, the fact that I'm going to play against a beautiful squad, an incredible squad like Liverpool. Playing against a team like this represents a whole different set of opportunities if you compare any of the game in the Italian Championship. And it also allows us to show the progress we are having. Alvaro, you ended up in Berlin, the last European tournament, when you played against England. And tomorrow you will play against another English team. Well, I hope the end of the game is going to be the same. That means that you are at your top level. If you played the last game at an international level, and then against England, and then if you play again against an English team, that means you are at the top level. And I think that this is going to be a very important challenge for us in order to measure what we can do, to which extent we can arrive, we can do well. We have many substitutions available. It's many of us. We need to use our tactics, and those tactics will be consolidated over time. We cannot spare our time, especially in Serie A, but tomorrow will be different because we are speaking of the UEFA Champions League. Question to Mr. Fonseca. Mr. Fonseca, after the game versus Venezia, did you have a chance to talk to Mr. Cardinale? And could you please tell us what you shared? Yes, I always talk to Jerry. Before the games, after the games, we are always in touch. That's normal. And I cannot share with you what we talked about. I'm sorry. Good afternoon, Mr. Fonseca. I noticed that Ibra is back. Today he has been at the training session. Did he tell you something regarding the game versus Venice? Was there something he liked in this game? Did he tell you something about how to improve in this championship? And then question to Alvaro. What's the difference between Italian football and English football at the moment for you? Well, I've been talking to Zlatan, and well, we commented on the atmosphere here in Milanello about players. Nothing new, actually. It was a normal, standard conversation regarding the team, the condition of every player, and all the games ahead. Well, in my opinion, the main difference between the Italian championship and the English one is the physical aspect. Up until some years ago, someone said that that the English Premier League was the best league to watch the television, but I think that no one was used to see draw games like 3-3 or 4-4. I think that Italian football has changed a lot over time in the last period. It is a much more attractive sport now. Many teams have a high level of competition, and in that sense, Italian football is more similar now to Premier League, but Italian league is more fun. Question to Alvaro. You have experienced this competition as a protagonist with different clubs. Tomorrow, a new phase of the Champions League is going to start. So, could you please share an opinion regarding this AC Milan? To which extent AC Milan is a European team, and for which characteristics? But frankly speaking, and I often comment on this with my teammates, I think, and we think, that at the end of the day, we need to understand that. We need to understand that among us. I've been playing with different teams, but this is maybe the one in which I notice, in which I see most quality. You need to believe in it. You need to trust in yourself, and we have always said so. But in these past few weeks, if you experience and if you live inside the training sessions, you realize that you can win, that AC Milan can win against any team. It depends on what we concede. If we concede a goal, we need to know how to react. If we couldn't dominate the game, then we needed to know what to do to react. This is a personal opinion. Maybe Mr. Fonseca thinks thinks differently. Not surprisingly, we won against Venice. In fact, we won because we prepared that game very well. We worked in a certain way, and we had this feeling that everybody could rely on the teammate at our side. We need to trust in ourselves. We need to believe in it, because if we don't trust ourselves, then nobody's going to do it. Good afternoon, Mr. Fonseca. Can the same players play versus Liverpool and versus Inter, or do you think that as all the players are coming back after summer, they need to have more turnover? Yes, the same players could play against the two teams, but I want to have the chance to replace them, to make some substitutions. Why not? This week we will have to play 3 matches, and I need to focus on all the three. I also need to focus on the fact that tomorrow is the most important one. But I cannot neglect, I cannot forget the derby match on Sunday. I have a question to Alvaro. You are a man of experience. After the game versus Turin, you told the whole team that you needed to change your behavior, your attitude, that you needed to start to work hard. Have you noticed, have you seen any change in terms of behavior, in terms of attitude? Yes, actually, I was not meaning, I didn't mean a change in attitude. I was saying that you have to be motivated all the time when you eat, when you play, when you train. That's what we needed to understand. We are here to win. We are not here to spend time. I'm saying this about myself, but I'm making reference also to the attitude of all the players. Milan wants to win and needs to win. That's why I want to say that in the past few weeks there has been a change in mentality. You need to win every time you can, every match you can. And this is what I was making reference to about the other day game. In the second half, maybe we relaxed a bit. We should have managed. We had to manage, sorry, all the efforts, because after that game, some others would have arrived, and one of these is tomorrow game against Liverpool. But not only in Turin, I think that each of us needs to be aware of the fact that we are here to win, not to spend our time. Hi, Alvaro. Good afternoon, Mr. Fonseca. Question to you, Mr. Fonseca. There has been a common word in your past press conference before today, which was dominating the game. But I've just listened to your last answer, and you say that you need to defend and then you need to attack. So is this changing? Are we now searching for more equilibrium, more balance, instead of dominating the game? Well, my players perfectly know that the first thing first I say in training sessions is that the best way to defend is not losing the ball. In my opinion, this team can be a very dominating one in the future. We are now doing better, but I want to dominate even more than what we are doing now. Defending well, yes, is not losing the ball. This is the top priority of my strategy, of my style. And then, if we have no ball possession, that's a wholly different challenge. You need, and to face that challenge, you need to build a team that defends all together, that defend together. A question to Mr. Fonseca and a question to Alvaro Morata. Mr. Fonseca, do you think that Liverpool is the favored team tomorrow? And Alvaro, what do you think about the new format of the European Champions League? Well, questions like these are always special, let's say. What do you mean by the favored team? At the end of the day, everything depends on what you do when you are on the pitch. The most important thing is what we feel inside. I don't care whether Liverpool is favored or not. The most important thing is that we want to win against them. Well, regarding the new format of the UCL, I want to think that every change we make is for the best, is for the better, is for the best. Obviously, efforts are going to be many. we will be tired at the end of the season, but when you are a football player, you know that you have a very long way to go, that you will have many matches ahead, many substitutions ahead, and I think that this will be better for us, for the clubs, and for everybody. Good afternoon to both. Mr. Fonseca, tomorrow's games like tomorrow one, do they need to be the nights of Theo and Leao? Yeah, every match should be the match of Theo and Leao. But not only Theo and Leao, they should be the matches of the whole team. We speak a lot of individual talents, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you play as a team. Obviously, if you are good as a team, individual talents will rise. They will easily rise. They will easily show their qualities, but I'd rather talk about the whole team, not about just Theo and Leao. Good afternoon to both. Question to Mr. Fonseca. From the tactical point of view, did you like Reinders and Loftus-Cheek in their positions, in their last positions? And Alvaro, how do you feel from a physical point of view? Yes, I like the last positions. I assigned them. I could feel them again in the same position. Maybe there will be a different strategy in the future, but I sincerely liked the positions I assigned them, not only when attacking, but also when defending. Positional game, I mean, the tactics based on positions is important. Now we need to improve the connection between the different players. Well, I feel good, I'm happy, and I'm positive, I'm optimistic. Physically speaking, I feel well, and I wouldn't be available if I couldn't give my utmost. Sometimes I'll be lucky, some others I won't be lucky. I would love to play 5 games in a row, but we know that we do not have control over this. I've been working in my best in my best possible way to be available, and the club has really supported me because they have helped me, and they let me go to Spain due to my personal condition, due to my personal situation, and that's why I want to thank the club. We give it for granted. We take it for granted that in every club things are treated like this, but actually it's not like that. And now I'm back, and I want to run it. I want to do well. Now, something about the Mr. Fonseca. You cannot forget the next derby versus Inter. You won against Inter some time ago, so you can give suggestions to Mr. Fonseca. Well, I don't think so. Mr. Fonseca is the most leading expert regarding football. He knows much more than everybody else. At the end, if you are positive, you can collect positive results. We cannot think about Inter today. We need to think about Inter the day after tomorrow. Because if we start to think about a derby, then we lose our energy, and that energy is needed for tomorrow. One question regarding Fofana to both. Mr. Fonseca, you truly wanted to have Fofana available. Now you have been training him for more than 1 month. What did you discover about him? Alvaro, Gabbia said that he was surprised by the fact that Fofana speaks Italian very well already. Considering the fact that there are other French players, he could have waited to learn Italian. You were in the same situation 10 years ago, so how do you integrate people like Fofana, foreign players, in the dressing room? Fofana arrived later. We didn't have so much time available to work with him. We cannot expect a perfect player. We cannot expect perfection from him. In fact, he is playing in a different position. He's playing in a different role compared to his position in Munich. But he is learning. He's improving very important details. And I feel that he's developing, he's advancing, he's progressing a lot. Yes, this is the most important thing to me and to the team. I rely on him a lot, and I know that he will be a fundamental resource for the team. But we need to remember at the same time that he has just arrived, and he will need some time to adjust and to adapt to this kind of championship. Serie A is totally different from the French league. Yes, actually, I had thought about it. In fact, I have been playing with many players. Some of them never learned Italian throughout the years, and they just wanted to feel at ease with their languages. Fofana not only speaks Italian, he always tries to communicate with me in Spanish. He always tries to communicate in Portuguese. His attitude is extremely positive. I think that he could go to on holidays to any place in the world, and he would survive because he learns the languages very, very well. If you need to adapt, you need to do it quickly, and he did so. In fact, he speaks to everybody in the team. Well, probably you don't understand him when he speaks Italian, but at least he tries to communicate in a different way. And he talks a lot to me. We need to coordinate in the pitch, and he is different from any other midfielder. Question to Mr. Fonseca. Mr. Fonseca, you will have noticed that more than once. What's the difference between the Liverpool of Slot and the Liverpool of Klopp? Well, Arne Slot has just landed in Liverpool. Clearly speaking, they also have different players now. I think that the difference is not a great deal. Is not a big deal. There are some similarities. For example, the way of defending. 4 players defending is a similarity between Klopp's Liverpool and Slot's Liverpool. So they both play with wingers. Also the way they make ball possession and attack right away is very similar too. Well, 2 very quick questions, one to Mr. Fonseca and the other to Alvaro. You play with 3 midfielders. As we saw on Sunday, they always play together. As it's 4 of you, do you think that there are a few players available? So you're asking whether I think that it's that I have few midfielders available? Well, no, I think that we have many midfielders available. Obviously, now Ismail Benacer got injured, but we still have Zeroli and other young midfielders. There are other midfielders with great value. So I think that I can rely on good players in this position. And another question that doesn't want to sound tricky. In case you win against Liverpool and Inter, would you take us some pastel de nata before the game against Lecce? Yeah, that's a promise I made. I promised you that if we win both matches, you will have pastel de nata for everybody. Okay, I can take some